I can hear you.
Can't see me?
No.
Of course not. Here we go. Now you can see me?
I sure can. I can see the
Excellent.
bushes. I can see the bushes and trees.
That's excellent. It's so bright, I just can't see a bloody thing. That's fine. Okay, so you can see the bushes and trees, and you can see the nice shiny park.
Yeah, I can.
Excellent. Perfect. So, on the other side of those bushes and trees is like a really, really populated park. And, yeah, it's got like heaps and heaps of people go there. Then there's this little pathway down there where I think these guys play that, I don't know what game it is, some frisbee toss game.
Okay.
And and I don't know where it was, but it was somewhere in there I saw something and I thought, gee, that looks strange. Just looks out of place. Just in that group there. So I was able to work out. You wait till you see what they've done in this forest. And this stuff, and once again, it's really close to sewage pipes and drains.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is just now over here, someone has created, without a doubt, a little wall. I'll show you what I mean by that. So see the brown leaves?
I do.
Right. So that's all been pulled down. And then it's all been, that one's been pulled down and that one's been pulled down to intertwine. This one here, the exact same things happened. So when we stand back, they've created themselves a nice little wall. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's really quite amazing. And then through here, we've got just a lot of weird stuff going on. Like, is that possibly one of the biggest X's you've seen in a while?
Right.
Like, that is just crazy.
Oh yeah, it's even stripped.
And have a go at the size of it. So not only have they done it, and that's a tree, they've then placed another tree on top of that. So they've created that X and they've jammed it
Yeah.
in between one, two, three, four trees. So
Right.
put a tree on top of that to hold it down, and it's really, really well held down. Now, they are absolutely not in this area at the moment, so it makes me think this is a bit of a nighttime spot. And over there, if you can see through that, you can see a bunch of grey rocks. That's the little sewage tunnel.
Oh, okay.
Another random, just tree, just laying flat
Okay.
on the
Yep.
ground.
Yeah, how'd that get there?
Yeah, that's right. Look at this tree, Albert.
Yeah.
That's nice and bendy, isn't it?
Oh, very.
Just happens to be jammed in there as well. We've got branches and shit and stuff happening all over there. But that's not even, that is just, yeah, like that. Okay, that stuff is odd and, logically probably explainable. But over here, there's just it's unexplainable. So we're still going further away. So just through there is the main public park. Then we've got this little spot here. But over here is where it gets really fascinating.
This is the park near your home.
Yeah, about 20 minutes away.
Oh, okay. So we haven't been here before.
No, this is a brand
Wow.
new spot. This is somewhere that I just happened to take my daughter on the weekend and just noticed a couple of things and went for a bit of a wander and then found a bit of remnants and thought, God, what's going on over here? So this is the first little area where there's just anomalies that shouldn't be there. That tree there we just walked past has been cut, so it hasn't been smashed.
Okay.
So, and obviously we saw a bloke with a tractor, so that explains all this type of shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Once we get, where's the spot? Yeah, it's over there. Bugger. It's a long way. So if you can kind of see where the cars are,
Yes.
see underneath those tunnels,
Yeah,
there's a
it's
little
way down there.
series of about 5 little tunnels.
Tunnels.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not massive. They're only short, but they're definitely used. They're using them at some point. Now, you wait till
Man-made tunnels. Are those man-made tunnels?
yeah, those concrete ones. You wait till you see what they've built over here. The fact that I'm almost in disbelief people can just walk past it and go, oh, that's natural. Or it's just not.
It's amazing they could go for a walk and not notice the scenery that they're out to be seeing. Yeah.
All over the place the other day. And I'm just looking at this thing going, what the fuck is that? Then all of a sudden I heard a few little strange noises. Nothing that sounded like it couldn't have been some other type of animal, but just enough weirdness.
Yeah.
Over there, that massive tree is just
Yeah.
a little canopy tent. Just, you cannot see a thing in there. It'll just be a
Oh.
neat spot. Yeah. Like, see that fucking branch? Like, see how there's a big tree there?
Yeah.
Then you can see a lighter bit of green.
Yeah.
That's just a huge bit of a tree that's been dragged over there.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Totally weird. Totally weird. And this is where it gets cool. So we've got like over here, we've got remnants of something fucking sitting or moving through the grass. Like, see how the grass is all, like, look at the trail.
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
All that grass has been pushed back. Now down there is just thick, and once again it's water, so it's just right up their alley. Look at this one, Elliot. How can this be? See what I'm looking at there? I don't know if you can
Yeah.
make it out. But that's
Branches hanging over some
who the hell?
foliage.
Yeah.
Like something put it there.
Hey.
Like something put it there. Is it
Oh,
possible it fell from the trees?
it's all wrapped around each other. I can't see that
Oh.
happen.
Yeah.
Um, Once again, we've got something moving through or sitting. Now, look at this. So if you can kind of make that out, it's like a wall of grass, and then on the other side, there's like a clearing where all the grass is being pushed down. Like something is sitting behind this and using it as a wall. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Back, it might be hard to get a look at it. I'm just trying to find their little hideout that they made.
Where do you think they are right now?
I don't know if they're there, here. They were the other day, but that was really late in the afternoon. Once again, another little...
So you were here the other day?
Yeah, this is the first day I was here, and I was walking through it just going, what the fuck is this?
And you were able to sense their presence?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Huh, okay.
It was a bit creepy. There's a bit of a path there I can almost show it to you, but we have to stand back here and have a look at it. I've got to find this thing. Fuck, they're even pretty clever now, actually. I can't even pick up where they put it. Okay, hang on. Here it is up here. Have a look at this. Now, have you ever seen more of a shelter in your life? So look straight ahead.
Just on TV. I found a shelter once, but I think neighbor kids built it.
Yeah, this isn't. So, what can you see the grass there that's been
Yes.
pushed back? Can you see the hole
Yeah.
right in the middle?
Yeah, I think so. Like a
Yeah.
pathway?
Yep. So in there, so it's built around something. They've even managed to get themselves a roof. They've pushed everything down and they've created a little, I don't know what you'd call that.
A blind?
Yeah, but it's like a little cave.
A foliage cave.
Yep. And it's just all been pushed back perfectly to the point where the top trees have even been pulled down to align with it.
I was gonna say, what other animals live there? But to pull something down, you'd have to be a giraffe or something with hands.
Yeah, we just don't have creatures big enough to do that. And that's
Okay.
something that people don't really realise. Like, we don't have big creatures
Okay.
in Australia. Like, we just don't. We don't have large mammals. Like, this is suburban. Like, you know, I haven't seen
Right. Yeah.
a kangaroo in this area in my life. Like,
Wow.
yeah, we
So
don't.
that limits the options then.
Yeah, like there's a few areas. Obviously, there's plenty out bush. There's a golf course about half an hour away from here where kangaroos are everywhere, and it's a nightmare because when they stand up to you, they're fucking tall, and they're really territorial too. Kangaroos.
Oh.
Yeah, people don't
Um,
understand how big they are. Like, they'll stand up and they'll be bigger than me.
yeah, in America, I think we assume they're just very nice, very docile,
Fuck
very
no.
friendly.
They use that tail as a balancing device, and they kick the shit out of you.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're quite good at that. So they'll lean back on their tail, and they'll just use their front legs to kick you.
Man.
Yeah. And yeah, I've had a couple swipe at me before, and it's quite scary because the speed that they can move is unbelievable. But they're aggressive fuckers, so yeah, I don't really like fucking with them. Yeah, that's why we kill them and eat them in Australia. And everyone's like, "Why do you kill and eat your emblem?" And it's like, because they're fuckers. That's why.
And they populate. There's a lot of them, right?
There's a shitload of them, and they always hang out in big groups, like 10, 12.
Do
Look at that.
farmers?
See that?
Yeah. Uh, uh,
Random tree placed on the trail.
oh, okay. I see you're
So,
on a pathway now.
so I'm actually on a pathway, but someone's been nice enough to say, don't come any fucking further.
Really?
Well, that's what I'm going to interpret this tree that has just been placed here as.
Oh my goodness.
Look at the size of that tree.
Yeah. What do you see for a root system? Or a place of origin?
It's just laying there. There's the bottom of it.
It's been snapped?
Yep, it's a snap. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so it didn't originate there.
No, no. Who the hell knows where that originated? And have a go at the size of it. Like it's still going all the way back there.
Yeah. Is that a kind of tree that doesn't have bark?
Yeah, it doesn't have any bark on it.
Is that normal?
I don't know. I'm not too sure about that.
Wonder if the bark was stripped for a food source or if it's just that kind of tree. Well, it's perfectly laid across the trail, though, that's for sure.
It's perfectly laid across the trail. So obviously there's something down there that is telling me not to go.
What do you think you'll do?
Well, how many fucking times do you live, Albert? You know?
Okay. Did it look like it had been there a long time?
No, that was a fresh break, wasn't it?
Oh. Okay, yeah, that's concerning.
And look how fucking tall the grass is.
Yeah. The grass there is very short and sparse. Is that from a lawnmower or trail usage?
Oh, hang on,
Yeah.
mate. We've got something happening here. And something fucking happening behind me too, which is not good. See the grass
Uh-oh.
there?
Yeah. That's weird.
That's fucking weird. Look, they've got pretty specific rules, and fucking crossing a path they've obviously made. Look at that tree that's been pushed down to
Yeah.
wedge in between that.
Man. Yeah, lots of that.
It's so fascinating with their tree breaks and all the shit they do with everything, hey? Sometimes I think it's a sign of like the bigger the tree, the taller the tree, the bigger the alpha male or something like that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Oh shit!
And that
Look at this, Albert. Look at that fucking tree.
yeah,
Look
it's
at that branch.
broken. Yeah. Is that
That's
where
what.
that came? That's
That's that's where it's come from.
huh. Okay. Snapped.
Snap. Yep. And look at that fucking break.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh boy.
So we've got trees like this one next to it that are fucking perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. All them fucking perfect. And this random one just snapped. And a different type of branch is just sitting there. That's a different type of tree
Oh
branch.
wow.
And it's just like it's literally just sitting there. Like it's locked onto something.
And it
It's
didn't fall.
well,
It didn't
it's
fall.
not. Yeah, it's resting on like a tree knob or something like that.
Oh. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. That takes some doing. Looks like there's no tree next to it where it would have fallen from. There's a lot of communication going on there with these tree breaks, presumably. That
yeah,
one
that.
break on your left is so high up, and there's nothing around that would have broken it unless it had been broken on purpose.
Look at
That
the
one
tree.
really,
Look at the trees that are smaller that are perfect.
yeah,
Like, and then there's just that random one over there that's snapped into as well.
yeah, with nothing around it that would have or could have broken it unless it had been done on purpose.
Yeah,
Did you get
and that,
you get lightning?
and you'd agree that's sort of fresh. That's not too old. And talk about like non-rotting wood. That is fucking perfect wood. Oh, fuck, still on the drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That is just red and beautiful. Like that's fucking.
And you say it looks like a fresh break.
Yep, we're gonna go quickly. There's one there. Yeah, that was a fresh break. Mate, of all that vision I got of looking at that tree, you got this recorded, hey?
Yes, it is recording.
Oh, fuck, I can't help myself. I've got to go back. Fuck you.
For 23 minutes.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
I think there was just one just right through there.
Oh.
So just make sure we really have a look at that footage.
Okay. I'm probably wrong, but I saw what looked like a figure. It's
Yeah,
probably just the bushes.
no, just before I quickly fucking bolted on. I saw it clear as day, so.
So what happened?
I just saw a face.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I saw a face.
Yeah,
Oh
just
yeah, I'll look at that later. Was it brown?
yeah, like a light brown colour.
I saw a light brown color.
Looked like it fucking had eyes in it or something. Weird.
I thought I saw eye sockets.
It
Huh.
was fucking yeah.
And then it
Yeah,
went away.
anyway, that was the spot. So look, how unbelievable is that?
Yeah, really.
Hey mate, look,
Wow.
that's the road. Just you know what I mean. As I said, to these things, COVID has changed the rules. Like 18 months ago, it was a different world. Fucking people were everywhere. People are nowhere anymore.
Right. Okay.
Things are getting either more confident or they're just thinking, hey, we can do a little bit more, or we can come a little bit closer, or we don't have to drive out to bushland anymore. Oh, sorry, that's what I was going to show you. Up
Okay.
through here, you can kind of see maybe in the backdrop just a tunnel, a sewage tunnel, possibly. So, and these tunnels here, they're all connected. They all run straight through. Mate, I'm starting to think it is the only way they get around. And that's how they get around. They use these man-made sewage tunnels that we've built, and they just travel that way.
Okay.
Maybe, like,
Maybe they would. That would make sense if they could use those. They would.
yeah, think about it. Like, how many people are going in them tunnels?
Yeah, like kids.
Fucking, not even that hardly. There was another thing, like in Australia, about how many years ago now? Maybe 15 years ago. You know how like you guys have like ranges and stuff like that, like park ranges.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. We used to when I was a kid. So we used to have like fucking ranges and park ranges. The government sacked every single one of them, and they subcontracted it out to private industries.
Aha.
Now that's a fucking strange thing to do.
Suspicious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. To do all that, to get rid of every type of ranger. So we don't have ranges. We don't have rangers in Australia anymore. So all work done by any people in like any government-owned council land or state forests or national parks, it's all done by private industry. So the government just wiped their hands of it all, sacked everyone, and now they just employ private companies to do it.
Do you see these workers around from time to time when you're at these parks?
Yep. Yeah, they are here from time to time, but because they're a private company, it means,
Like that person.
hang on a sec. I think it means two things. Firstly, it means that just say that if I was a government worker and I experienced something like a phenomenon, I'd then have to take it to my boss and say, hey, this happened. So that takes away that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
being a subcontractor, the government say, here's this contract, here's this job, this is what we want. And then once they've completed that job, they don't have to answer any more questions. You know what I mean? I just always found
Yeah.
it strange that we don't have any rangers or anyone left doing that type of shit.
That is interesting.
You guys still do, don't you?
Yes. Um, Sometimes they aren't very forthcoming about things, as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a there was a really great interview with one who was an ex-copper, I think. Oh God, was his last name was Woolley, I think maybe. Tells a great story. Do you watch? Do you listen to Mr. Ballin?
I don't. I'll write that down.
But oh my God, you're about to become addicted to something. So it's
Oh,
Mr. Then MrBallen,
okay.
and all he does is he just stands there and he just tells stories, right? And in the space of 3 months, this bloke got about 1 million subscribers. Now he's on like 3.2 million. And he was an ex-Marine, and he did time in Afghanistan, and he's just a genuine bloke. And he tells stories, and he's a huge David Paulides fan. Like, he's read all his 411 books.
Okay.
And he talks a lot about, like, he'll pick out, say, 3 of the most baffling 411 cases. And then he'll just talk you through them. But just his way of telling the story and how he does it. Oh, he's just brilliant.
Well, I'm gonna look him up and probably put him in my website, and I'll say
Yeah.
you helped us find him.
Yeah, Mr. Ball, very, very fascinating guy. All he's doing is just retelling stories that he's heard, but some of the stories are just absolutely chilling. They just make zero sense. And you know how, like, do you follow?
Oh, I have seen him.
Yeah, you have.
My sister shows me some of his scariest stuff.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
craziest stories.
some of
Yeah,
them.
okay, I know who you mean. So yeah, he talks about missing. I didn't know he knew or liked David Pilates' work. That's cool.
A lot of it, yeah. So he's got a whole bunch called, like, what is it? Top. I don't know, missing. Maybe it's just the top 3 missing 411, but he's got a whole series of them. There's about 10 or 15 different videos there where he goes through, just pulls out 3 weird cases. And it's weird how you listen to each one of them. There's so many odd events, right? Like, what do you think about the whole always missing their shoes situation?
Oh yeah. Where did the shoes go on these missing people?
Yeah. Then, okay, right, you think about it. What would be the dirtiest part of you?
Yeah. I hear if you have frostbite, you want to take your shoes off, but in a lot of these instances it's not cold out. But
That's exactly.
if they find these people, they often find them without their shoes on.
Absolutely.
Like they find them dead, but they don't have shoes. Well,
Did you
that's weird.
did you see the second 411?
Yes. In fact, that's the one I saw. I didn't see the first
The
one yet.
the hunted, was it
The
called?
hunted. Oh yeah.
Like, they were people going missing with fucking machine guns and radios.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, all the
Yeah.
people had radio communication.
They had the means to communicate, but chose not to,
They
and
had the
they
means.
never found them again.
They had the means to open up fucking machine gun somebody, or you know what I mean? They were all
Yeah.
heavily armed. They were all wired up.
And searchers never found the weapons,
Yeah, yeah. Like,
things that don't blow away. They couldn't find.
all the ones that were found in locations that were impossible to get to. And then
Yeah.
he always talks about the weather event that happens
Right.
one or 2 days afterwards.
Always strange weather in conjunction with it.
There's always a dramatic change in the weather. Like, you know, I don't have answers, but immediately what springs to mind when I hear that is, let's say we all know how connected these creatures are with the earth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's say they eat small animals. If bad weather,
Yeah.
really bad weather, like, you know, dramatic weather comes, all those small animals, they're going to be hiding like far. So what if these things are doing? They're taking a large food source to get them through the bad weather. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's
Oh.
my opinion of it.
Oh. Yeah.
Because the bad
Good
weather one
one.
has always puzzled me. And it's just not a one-off thing. The amount of them that he's covered, where it's like 2 days into the search, it had to be postponed because of the weather event. Some massive dramatic change in the weather has caused the search to stop. and then the people are found in a spots that has been searched multiple times.
Right.
Like, did you research the Blade and Clay one?
The what?
I might have seen it, I might not have, but I thought I might have seen you through information in relation to Alison Baden Clay. She was a mother whose husband's now in jail for her murder.
Oh.
And he says one night they've had an argument. He's then gone to bed. He's woken up the next morning. Of a morning, she always went jogging or walking. And at 7:15, he calls the police. 7:15 in the morning, he calls the police and states that she's missing.
Okay. Yeah.
Now for starters, this guy's a fucking idiot, right? Everything he did was just dumb. Like, just because you're dumb, it doesn't make you a murderer. Like, and it turns out he had a girlfriend on the side. Okay, so it looks suspicious straight away. The minute they find her body, because they eventually found her, he claimed her life insurance on that day. He rings up and makes the claim on her life insurance. Like, just stupid shit like that. Now, when they did the autopsy on her, they were never able to come up with the cause of death. There was never any marks on her. She was found, I think, half lodged in a pool of water. There was a dramatic weather event 2 days after she went missing, and they continued searching. She was found 14 kilometres away from her house, and he was sentenced to life in prison. And about 3 years after in jail, he lodged a manslaughter claim, stating that his lawyers came out and stated that you've got this guy on first degree murder. We're stating that it could have been second degree. They could have had an argument. They could have had a fight. He could have accidentally killed her. So they put that plea on the table and offered him 12 years.
Oh.
He got knocked back because he wouldn't confess. He wouldn't state that that's what happened. Their argument was that it could have happened. But because he never said this is what happened, he didn't get the 12-year term. And instead he got overturned and now he's got life.
Do you think he did it?
Everyone in the world, everyone in Australia thinks he did it. Oh, and he had scratch marks on his face
Oh.
that he said were done by a razor. And I had a look at the pictures of that scratch marks. Then I was able to get pictures of Alison's fingernails. Now those scratch marks are done by something pointy and sharp, like a razor. Her fingernails were fucking rectangular. I can't see how it's possible. The only evidence and there was no physical evidence connecting him to the crime whatsoever. His skin wasn't under her fingernails at all.
Oh.
Yeah. They said they found her blood in her car. Now, I reckon if I had a team of forensic people, they'd find my blood in my car. Like, you think about like, the amount of little cuts you've had here and there.
Right.
It wouldn't be hard. Like, it wouldn't be hard to, make a little cut every now and then, or just sort of drop your blood. To say you found her blood in her car, that's not a big thing. That doesn't mean anything to me. In the
But they
fact,
found no cause of death.
what's that, sorry?
They found no cause of death,
No
however.
death whatsoever. I read the autopsy. They were unable to come up with any cause of death. Just like all the missing 411s.
So the blood in the car probably didn't mean anything.
Exactly. If there's no marks on it, what the hell has the blood in the car got to do with anything? And so the police say that he's killed her that night. This is the police's theory. He's killed her that night, and he's gotten rid of her. He's driven her to a place called Colo Creek and dumped her there. There's two things wrong with the story. A, she was found wearing exercise gear. So, like, to me, that's a big one because that means you've killed her. You've dressed her up in your exercise gear. You've dumped her, expecting her to be found. Like, and he made no effort to like wrap her up or anything. Apparently, he's just dumped her, which just doesn't make sense. Like, why
Right, if you're gonna dump a body, you'd put it somewhere where it wouldn't be seen right away.
you'd wrap it in plastic or you'd do something? Or would you go to all the effort to dress her up in your exercise gear?
The
And
only
another
point,
thing that struck me bad is he was the one who told them they had the argument the night before. Now, he could have 7:15 in the morning is really early. He could have had a couple more hours. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't wait long. She's usually back at, say, 6 o'clock or 6:30 every morning. He waited an hour and was that worried, called the police after 1 hour because it just her routine. Now, he could have said that, hey, we had a big fight the night before. I thought you'd gone to a friend's house. He could have waited till the afternoon and it wouldn't have been suspicious. But the fact that he called them so early in the morning has always got me a bit questioned. And if you look, like, do you remember the Scott Peterson, Lacey Peterson one?
right?
But
Yeah.
it's our version of that.
Okay.
Everyone in the world thought that he did it because he was a douchebag. And just
Right.
because you're a douchebag doesn't make you a murderer. Like, I think there's a lot of, like, there was no physical evidence with that. Like, I hate talking about that Scott Peterson one because that just annoys me. Because I'd like to think if I was getting sentenced to life in prison, or in his case, the death penalty. Oh, I think he got life in prison. I know he got the death penalty, didn't he? But he won't get it. But there was
Yeah,
no
I think,
physical evidence connecting him to the crime. Everything was circumstantial.
and they got him for 2 murders because she was pregnant.
Absolutely. And the morning of the murder, the house across the road got robbed.
Oh, interesting.
Did you know that?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I know. No one hears that. And 11 people saw her walking the dog in the morning.
Oh, wow.
11. And that goes against because he apparently killed her the night before as well. Dumped her body in the morning.
Oh.
There's so much wrong with that case. Another thing was that this is after him being in jail for a year because they arrested him, the trial and all that shit was going on. They were able to find that she did internet shopping in the morning, but he didn't know because he wasn't there. So they pulled up all the computer records. And they found that in the morning someone's gone on the website. Someone's gone on some female clothing website and was looking at stuff and different sizes and colours. Now, he never said that for a year. That came out a year later because they ran a big thing on his computer.
Wow, evidence.
There's so many factors to point out that she was alive that morning. It's not funny. And the worst thing that the police did was in that press conference, they announced where he had been. Like if I'd killed her and I wasn't him, and the cops come out and say, Scott tells us he was at this particular bay on that morning, guess where I'm going to go and dump the body? Place where the husband was, so it looks like he did it.
Right.
Yeah, that case has always annoyed me. I really hate it. And that poor guy's got life in prison. There's a great documentary on it. It's an the channel you guys get, A&E.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great documentary, Murder of
Okay.
Lacey. Definitely worth watching, and it just opens up your eyes to. I've just got issues with people that are sentenced with no evidence, like the
Right.
OJ one. Plenty of
No
evidence.
closure.
Yeah, like you gotta have some. It can't all just be circumstantial. You need some type of physical evidence that connects you to the crime. And I've also got issues with the fact that these guys are obviously fucking idiots. You can't tell me they can pull off the perfect murder and leave no evidence or leave no nothing. Like
I know.
I don't buy it.
So it's like the authorities just wanted to close the case.
Oh God, yeah.
Hmm.
And they come
Yeah,
out. They
I'll
have
I'll
all
watch
these.
that.
They come out and they say they have multiple suspects, but they're looking at one guy the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so our version of that is a bloke called Jared Bating Clay, who's now spending life in prison. And as I said, mate, I don't think there's a bloke in the world that thinks he didn't do it. But
But how, right?
yeah, I think there's a few questions that need to be answered, and no one's going to answer them. And another thing they use, like, and it was trial by media, like the media paints half the picture. The fact that they kept using the excuse, the fact that he wasn't out looking for her with this, because they had a search party. They searched for her for 11 days. And they kept using the fact that he wasn't out searching for her. Now, he had 3 little girls. So I know I've got a little girl. If one of the parents is missing, I'm not going to leave my little girl with my mother or my sister, my auntie or something like that. I'm going to be with my little girl. I'm going to let the police search, and I'm staying with my daughter because she's already lost one. I don't want her to be alone. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's how I see it. Like I don't think I would search either if I had a child. I would want to be with that child.
Yeah. When I think of reasons why authorities would want to close a case, we could think extreme reasons like alien abduction gone wrong, so let's blame the husband.
Yeah. Did
That's an
you ever think
extreme
about that reason?
example.
Did you ever think about that reasonable doubt clause that ex-copper told me?
Oh, right, right. Yeah.
Isn't it fucking unbelievable? It just never even entered my mind.
That missing people and deaths, if
Like
we're pegged on Bigfoot, then they'd have to.
come out and say that these things are real. Every single fucking crime that happened outdoors would bring into the account reasonable doubt. And if there's reasonable doubt, they can't convict. So his exact words to me was complete waste of fucking time. No government in the world will ever admit their existence. Because it'll bring into doubt reasonable doubt of every single murder case that happened outdoors.
Yeah, that would be a lot of work.
And I'm like, fuck, he's probably right. Like, think about all these people that'll be like, I didn't do it, Bigfoot did it.
Okay, right.
Half of them are probably guilty, but they'd still use that. They'd still use that saying. Like
Huh.
it would just. His exact
You're
word to me is just never gonna happen. Not in a
you're
million years.
you're right that that was something I hadn't considered as a reason for cover up.
Yeah,
One reason for it.
it never had entered my mind. I guess I'd never looked at it from a police
That,
standpoint.
that would be a lot of cases that would have to be reopened and reconsidered.
Oh yeah.
And, and then exposing giant people in the woods that are killing people. Oh man, man, that would be messy. Our government wouldn't want that.
Oh man, and plus, like obviously you guys have got different laws, but like our gun laws in our country, they're fucking insane. Like
Right.
the gun law would be the first thing that would change.
And they wouldn't want that, would they?
Fuck no. And
They
it's
like it.
probably more dangerous people running around with guns than fucking Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're not
Like,
allowed to own a gun down there in Australia.
oh yeah, you are, but you've got to go through very heavy scrutiny, and
Okay.
it's a long process. And there's only particular ones you can't own anything automatic.
Right.
Um, I don't even think you can own semi-automatic. I think it's only particular rifles and handguns you can own.
Okay. Because you do have hunting.
Oh, gotcha. And
Yeah.
we've got heaps of farmers that have got to kill the fucking kangaroos because they're an absolute pest. So yeah,
So they
that
so
needs
they
to happen.
get into the crops.
Oh, they get into everything.
Wow.
They'll eat everything. They'll physically kill animals. They'll do it. They're a nightmare.
Wow. That's not
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, they're fucking brutal. They are brutal. Like I've seen them take down fucking cows before.
I had no idea they were such
Yeah, because
this way.
they do it in packs. They do it in like 8 or 10 of them.
Ah,
Yeah, they're fucking brutal,
I had no idea.
and and just fearless. They really are. So, but have you?
Jeez.
I'm guessing. Have you ever seen like one up close?
Um, only in a controlled environment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'd be wait till you be in a position where it's a non-controlled environment and they're up close, and they will come up to you, stand less than a meter away from you, and stand right up and broaden their shoulders, and you're just like, holy fuck, their shoulders are as broad as mine, and you just got no idea, and they're standing over you, so they get to that big.
Right.
They're quite lethal, but then there's none in suburbia like that up the road. That golf course, that's a bit unique. There's just
Okay.
not many places like that. But in the bush, they're absolutely everywhere. Wallabies are different. Wallabies are beautiful little things. So wallabies are about like a quarter of the size of them. So they're just like a little mini kangaroo.
Okay. I was gonna say, are they the nice version?
Yeah, they are. They're the lovely version, and they're beautiful nature, and they're really nice. And they'll literally come up to you and they'll eat something out of your hand, and they are lovely. But the actual big fucking red kangaroos are killers.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they do you ranch do ranchers raise them for the meat? They're so plentiful. I know kangaroo meat is
Oh,
a common
kangaroo
food.
huge over here. It's not real nice, but it's alright.
So people don't raise it like cattle.
No, no, definitely no. Not that I've heard actually. I don't really know
Is
how
it
it's produced,
okay? So it
but
doesn't taste as good.
there's definitely no fucking kangaroo farms or anything like that.
Huh?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay, but
so
they're everywhere.
they're everywhere. Everywhere out bush. I'm gonna try and swing the camera around and give you a view of the Brisbane city, mate. If you can see it.
Okay.
Can you see much? Can you see our
Yeah,
city?
I can see your trip. You're traveling.
Yeah. So I'm heading towards the city. So I know it's a lot different to what everyone thinks Australia looks like.
Hey. Yeah, thanks for the sneak peek.
Yeah.
I do like learning about Australia through you.
Yeah. This is pretty much what Australia looks like,
Okay.
as opposed to just the outback. Like we've got the outback, and it's fucking huge. But if you live on the east coast, it's all like this. It's all
Okay.
built fucking yeah. And we're just coming up to the main part of the city now, like the buildings, which I'm about to change lanes.
Are you trying to get home?
No, I'm going the opposite way.
Okay.
So I live north side. I'm going south side. So I'm heading like down, down the east coast bit, as opposed to I live up. Like in what was that place you? Oh fuck! I looked into that place you told me about too.
Black Mountain?
Oh my god!
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
I had no idea how fucked up that place was.
Yeah, I bet it's messed up for a reason.
Oh my
Like
god!
ancient
Straight up.
technology buried under that mountain.
How many stories were people? Okay, someone would go missing, then somebody would go and search for them, and they'd go missing. Did you read about all those stories?
That sounds about right.
Oh my!
Some, but not all. Um, Man,
And like,
in fact, I had trouble finding more information. So if you had it, you could send me an email.
yeah, well, I'll find some more, but
Yeah,
I
because
couldn't.
I did put a page for that in the website just because I found it so fascinating that there's something weird possibly buried underneath it. It's like a mountain of these just rocks that are placed on top of each other to
Yeah,
bury something. I mean, most mountains aren't like that.
and now I think about it, like it's a bit convenient that the fucking Death Adder happens, like it happens to be home of the Death Adder. Like, I wonder who put the fucking Death Adder there just to say don't go there. No one goes there because of the Death Adder. Like
Um,
that's pretty.
the yeah,
That's
the
the
snake.
that's the concept. Yeah, that's the conception that everyone has in Australia. Don't go to Black Mountain because that's the home of the Death Adder.
Hey, it's like
And
that snake was put there just to keep people out.
yeah, and I'm promise they are fucking there. There's no two ways about it. Like it is there, but I wonder if it's there fucking intentionally.
Yeah, probably.
Probably for fucking probably because it's just a perfect place for it to fucking survive because it can just get in and out of all the little mini rocks. But how can how can all those rocks just pile up there?
Yeah. Again, it's like they were placed there.
Yeah, and we're not talking about a handful of them, hey?
I'll
Like,
have to research how big it is. Uh,
yeah,
You
I
know,
couldn't believe how big it was.
I'm
Like, there's
surprised no one's tried to find out what's underneath that thing.
yeah, and how and there was even talk about like was it a cave system?
Yes.
How could there be a cave system if they're all tiny rocks?
Yeah, that's true. That's also suspicious.
Yeah, but I know somebody mentioned a cave system, and I'm like, how's that even possible?
Yeah.
Did you find
Um,
out about like the age?
Say that again.
Did you find out anything about the age of it, like how long it had been there for?
No, but Most of what I learned was on the TV show called Ancient Aliens,
Yeah, no,
and
huge
and
fan of that.
I did make comment of it on the page for Black Mountain I made in the website. So
What season
I'll have to
was
go
it?
there and double check my info.
What season of Ancient Aliens was it?
That must have been season 3, but
Oh,
it's list
fuck.
it's li-
Oh, okay, beautiful. I thought it was one of the recent ones that I hadn't seen yet. Because I've seen up to see, because I've watched them all. I've seen up to
oh
season, I think 12. I don't know what they're up to over there, but I think they've only released up to season 12 over here yet.
I've only seen what Netflix has, and I think that's only one season of it. So I am looking for other ways to view it.
Oh, mate, it's
Um,
great. You
the
wait till you get
information, a lot of the
there.
information is interesting,
There's a couple of stories that they tell about the city of Atlantis.
right?
Oh my God, it's so fascinating.
Yeah, a lot of talk about ancient civilizations and
Oh
how
God.
those civilizations came into being.
And the amount of actual evidence that this place was a real place is just amazing.
Yeah,
They talk about a particular metal that they use there, and it turns out that this metal is actual a real metal. Like it can be really made that no one's ever made before, and it's like how the fuck could they have known that back then? Like it was like a
right,
metal. They joined two metals together and they made this red metal. And
right. That
yeah,
shows they knew a lot more than we realized. Their technology was actually pretty
yeah,
good.
the information's so limited. Like it's not even Plato wrote a story about it. It's like in two of Plato's books, he references it twice. Like that's it. They literally have what 2 paragraphs of information about it, and that's it.
Yeah, probably not on accident that they won't let us learn more about certain things.
Well, yeah, but like he gave the exact measurements of the rings. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. So in the blurbs, because he says
Oh,
it was a series of rings. So it was like a center, then it had water, then a landmass of a circle, then water, then the third landmass of a circle. So that's what the island looked like. That's why it was so easily flooded because it was literally covered, surrounded by water anyway. And
okay, right. Yeah.
it went down in one night. It was literally covered in one night.
I've heard maybe the Great Flood took it out.
Possibly, yeah. It
Yeah.
was.
And because it was so low that when the waters receded, the ocean still filled and left Atlantis covered in water.
Yeah, and they were definitely an advanced society. Like
Yeah,
the Gre-
technology.
the Greeks even talk about having a war with them. Like there's even um, evidence in some form of Greek history saying that they went to war with Atlantis. So when you start looking into it, you're like, holy fuck, this is actually possible.
Yeah, studying ancient civilizations is very interesting and very revealing.
Oh my god, yeah, especially those ones that just fucking just like they vanish overnight.
Right.
The,
These
mi-
ancient
the,
people groups
mi-
just
mine,
disappeared and
like
left all their
like where did all the
buildings.
mines go?
What's that?
Is it called the mines? That culture, the mines
Yes.
thought the end of the world was 2012 or something like that. They were
Right.
fast time.
Right. And
Yeah,
they say that their ancient buildings and structures and mounds, those were there before they showed up. Someone
really,
else built those. So whoever built all that just disappeared as if God said, enough's enough, enough of your mischief, enough of your messing with humankind. You're out of here. fallen angels or
That's a
whatever
view
they
of our,
were.
if you can see any of that, that's a view of our city too, by the way.
Okay.
Okay.
Say, if that
Oh,
was a Yowie Bigfoot creature, what are you gonna do about that?
hang on, mate. Say that again.
If that was a Yowie Bigfoot creature, I mean, I got a really good look at it and just thought, oh, maybe that's a bush, but then it wasn't there anymore.
Oh no! Oh, like earlier today. Yeah, no, that was fucking. I just saw a face just
And
looking right at me.
and you're good at getting stills out of your footage.
Yeah. So
It looked pretty clear. An individual frame of it might look like blob squatchy. You've heard that term, blob squatch?
definitely go back because I was looking at that tree for fucking quite a while without looking at it. So, well, you know, it
Yeah,
was
and
in the
all the other signs of that activity, all those breaks, and a lot of it was recent.
all recent. Yeah. So that what I'm saying is, but like that could have been there during that whole footage of me looking at that tree because it
Yeah,
was just to the left, just to the screen like left of the tree. So,
yeah.
right, it was just it sort of crouched down, and I was like, fuck.
And you had been there recently, but you hadn't been on that pathway.
No, that was I'd never seen that tree laid across
Okay.
the path like that before.
So they
But that was
didn't block the trail because of you having had already been there before, because you hadn't
well,
been there before.
yeah, no, definitely not. But that was a fresh break, and that was not a snap. But the biggest tree in the woods snaps like that, and that was clean, crisp wood. That wasn't a broken, rotted away tree.
Yeah, and I can't think of any other reason why it would have snapped. I mean, even lightning doesn't snap trees. I would think it splinters trees.
No, mate. And like this is Queensland. We don't, you know, like that. This is our sky.
Uh-huh.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Our state motto is fucking beautiful one day, perfect the next. We don't have weather like that that can snap trees, and it just doesn't happen here. So
Hey,
yeah.
I've created a section in my website called Oceana,
Mm.
and I've learned there's more in Oceana than I realized. Would you say Australia is part of Oceania?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
New Zealand, Papua New Guinea.
yeah.
Yeah.
All those little islands, fucking.
Bigfoot activity there a little bit.
I haven't really heard much about New Zealand, but it would have.
Well, Papua New Guinea has one. A shorter
Mate,
version.
I went to school with because a lot of all the PNG boys they come to school in Australia,
Oh,
so
wow.
there's no education over there, and
Really?
so half the guys I went to school with were Papua New Guinea guys, mate, and
Wow.
it's wild over there. Like it is really wild. Like you wouldn't hear of like if there were Bigfoots, they'd be fucking yeah. If there was one place where a Bigfoot would just thrive, it would be PNG. Like some of the guys I went to school with, mate, their birthdays were fucking scratched into a tree somewhere. It's so tribal out there. It's not funny.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Wow. I'm learning a lot.
yeah, no, PNG is really still quite so far behind. It's yeah, and or whenever they need work done, it's always like Australians. So you'll get like so a group of say 50 Aussies will go over there and work over there for say a month, come home for a couple of weeks and go back for a month. And while they're over there, they're sleeping in like huts and cabins that are fenced off and they're protected with men with machine guns.
Wow.
Like it's that type of culture. It's really quite rough.
Oh, no. So it's not a hot tourist location.
Oh God, no,
Wow.
no, no one goes there.
I heard in World War II, Australia um, went there to help fight the fight.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's how they were called, the Fuzzy Wuzzy Angels. So they helped us out in the Kokoda. So yeah.
I also learned that the island of New Guinea, half of it is like a province of Indonesia. I never thought of Indonesia as being over by Australia, but it's right above it.
Yeah, and Vanuatu as well.
Does it
Yeah,
feel like it? Does it feel like it's there? Like I feel like Canada is just north of me. Do you feel
oh yeah,
like Indonesia's?
Chile.
Do you feel
Yeah,
like
Chile.
Indonesia's a neighbor?
So our main sport in Australia is rugby league, right? So the Papua New Guinea team, they have a rugby league team in our Queensland Cup.
Oh wow,
Yeah, so that's how close they are. So like yeah,
ha!
so they
That
actually
is pretty
play
close.
they play rugby league in our Queensland competition. So they are yeah, they're our neighbours, definitely. But
Now, when I say if I were to say Easter Island, does that feel like a place that's far away from Australia?
no, that's close to it.
I heard it's like 2,000 miles off the coast of Peru, which probably would put it close to you.
Yeah, so if you're an illegal immigrant and if you try to get over here and you get stopped, you get sent to Easter Island. So it's actually close. It's where we send all the illegal immigrants trying to get here.
Wow, I am learning a lot.
Jail. It's basically the whole island's just like one big fucking jail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that place used to be populated, and then a great flood came and took out that
Oh
society
really?
that also had technology.
Oh shit. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's why those big stone figures look so weathered and water beaten and half sunken.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Well, at the moment, mate, yeah, it's just as I said, it's just known for like being one massive bloody jail. So because obviously they can't.
Do they put them there and just turn them loose?
Oh no, they're confined there. Like this is like this is what do they call it? People smuggling or
Yeah.
like, and they've got to wait there until either they get their refugee status or they get back home. Or I don't know how it works, but
Wow.
that's where they get sent. And it's governed by Australia. Like
Hey, that's a good point.
it's
What nation is Easter Island?
I'm not too sure, but it's an Australian-run facility over there. So we're in whenever there's like a riot or a fuck up in the jail or something like that, it's always our politicians to deal with it. It's like it's our area.
Amazing the things I never knew that I'm now learning.
Yeah, no, it's weird. It's a weird spot. I don't know why they chose Easter Island, but Easter Island became the place where we send all the people smugglers. Yeah, and if they're actual genuine refugees, yeah, I think they come straight over. But if they're just people that have just paid a bloke money to come here, yeah, that's where they get sent, and they get imprisoned there for God knows how long.
Refugees coming to Australia, that doesn't sound very easy.
No, well, they're coming from like Thailand and places like that.
Huh.
Thailand, fucking Samoa, Tonga, all those places. So the
Have
majority
you
of people over there are like, yeah,
have
Thailand,
you heard
Tongan, Samoan.
have you heard that we have a lot of people coming over our border in America?
No, where are they? Are they coming from Mexico?
Well, yeah, but they come up from South America, they go through Mexico into America, and I'm like, why don't you just what's stopping you from just staying in Mexico? Mexico's nice, right?
Why do they go to Canada? I'd always thought that people would prefer Canada.
Yeah. How about they cross into America and go up to Canada? Canada's nice.
Yeah, I think Canada would be a lovely place to visit.
Yeah.
There's a lot less crime and things Canada, isn't it?
I think you're right. Yeah.
No, but
And
it's just all got, all the beautiful mountains and the Oh, and actually, so is Alaska? Is that part of America?
it is because we bought it from Russia a long time ago, and they are regretting that.
Oh, okay, right.
Man, how
No,
lucky were we?
because of Sarah Palin, or no?
Yeah, that's right. She's there. She still lives there.
And Hawaii,
Yeah, Hawaii. Strategically was important during the wars, and
and that's part of a class as America, or not?
yep, yeah,
Oh,
that's our 50th state.
well, it's funny because the Hawaiian flag has got the Union Jack on it. I always question that.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
hmm. I
yeah.
guess I don't know.
I saw the national flag for Hawaii. It was only like a week ago, and I was like, "What's the fucking Union Jack on the flag?"
Huh?
The former Great Britain. You know what I mean?
Huh?
Yes. If you Google the Hawaiian national flag, the Union Jack is there. Like, so does that make them part of the Commonwealth? Like, it's really confusing.
You know what? You're giving me so much to research. I'll have to check
Yeah,
that out
it was only
because
because I was watching a UFC fight, and there's a fight. There's a fighter called Max Holloway. He's from Hawaii, and he came out carrying the Hawaiian national flag, and lo and behold, it's a bloody Union Jack in the corner. And being an Australian, we've got the Union Jack in our corner, and I'm like, so what the hell?
it makes sense that even though they're a state of the United States, that they would feel their own tradition, heritage, and culture
But
as their own nation.
it
I'll
was
check that out.
like from England. I had no idea England had anything to do with Hawaii.
I do know that England has been pretty much everywhere,
Oh,
even
they,
Papua New Guinea, I think.
they were savages back in the day, weren't they?
And it's interesting how they had their hand in a lot of different countries and eventually aren't there anymore.
Yeah,
Um, just amazing. But maybe they left their influence and that's good enough. I
yeah,
do wonder how they end up being in control of so many places and now they are not.
yeah. That's right. I think
Guess I guess everyone wanted their independence.
yeah. Well, they used to control the entire, you know, England,
Yeah.
Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and that's all gone now as well, isn't it? And I don't even know where they stand on that. Like with that whole, are they are they now not part of it because of the whole moving away from whatever they call that thing? Like what was that thing where they wanted to get out of Europe and not be a part of Europe? Or
Oh, right. They are no longer part of the European
they're not no longer
family.
part. They're no longer part of Britain. I think. I know that sounds weird because you associate England with Britain, but if you were to say Great Britain to Australians, Great Britain means England, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and someone else. No, maybe
And
it's just four.
I have learned, thanks to having to research things for my website, that Ireland is still a part of Europe. Northern Ireland is a part of Britain, and
Yeah,
Ireland doesn't want anything to do with Britain.
yeah. Very divided country, Ireland. Very
Yeah,
divided.
and so England is not part of the European Union. They wanted to do not have those restrictions. Interesting. That sounds like history
But I didn't
happened.
understand why England wanted to do this in the first place, why they wanted to separate themselves from. And I'm not exactly sure who they separated themselves from.
Yeah, I know they are a proud people and don't want to be jerked around.
Yeah,
This way they don't have to pay. Like every country has to pay money to the union for protection
yeah,
and to be a part of it. I did meet some Europeans a couple years back, and they said they actually like being part of the European Union
yeah.
because it makes them feel safe.
And it makes them feel that they can go
Oh, they were from Denmark.
Yeah, but it also means you can travel to all these countries without needing, you know.
Yeah, it's probably like driving from state to state in America, only you're in Europe, because I
Well,
hear you can drive from one country to another.
you can go from England to Paris in a train ride in a few hours.
Yeah, that's
Like
amazing.
it's that close. Like it's really weird. All right,
Yeah,
mate.
like
I've got to get going because I'm really close to getting my daughter. But I will
great.
talk to
Okay.
you later on. Really?
Thank you so much.
No worries, mate. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.